quoting here Trevor Maynard, is it has always concerned me that our use of the word conservative has the opposite meaning in insurance to its meaning in science.
Right.
And that's
climate scientists are conservative in the opposite way that a risk manager is conservative. That's right.
Yeah, and yeah,
conservative in climate science means not telling you how bad it could get.
Yeah, and
don't want right.
When we translate that to aerosols, for example, then if aerosols had been cooling much more, so of course the probability might be low. But if you're conservative as a scientist, you say, okay, let's focus on this, right? Let's focus on what we on the most probable scenarios. But if you're conservative from a risk management perspective or a risk reduction perspective, like you want to reduce risk, you want to avoid the scenario where you have the biggest risks, you say this, we could face this, so we have to avoid this, and then at any chance we have, because if aerosol cooling is stronger, that means that there will be much more warming when we reduce air pollution.
Right.
And then we will be faced with extreme temperature increase very rapidly. So we have to avoid that at all costs, right? And I think that's where we are now, where we are starting to experience, as we talked about last week, that we are in many ways, especially regionally, experiencing extreme level of warming very rapidly. And that was, from a scientific perspective, that has often not being communicated clearly because of this conservativeness, to be afraid that they will exaggerating. Of course, that's what we've been facing the past years a lot. After the publication, even with the publication of the preprint of our research in 2022, before all these high temperatures in 2023 and 2024 happened, they were telling us that they were implying that we were lying or intentionally exaggerating, right? But of course, now it's more and more obvious that we were not exaggerating. It's like even worse than we thought it was.
Well, by the way, there's two things that happen. One, ahead of time, they say, let's just focus on the most probable thing. Hansen, Simons, they're not within the mainstream. They say all that. And then when it turns out that you were right and it's in the red zone, then they say, well, it was in the models. They look. That's when they look at the whole spread. They say, no, let's only focus on this now. But when it turns out to be wrong, they say, well, it was in the range of our error bars, so everything is fine.